Good to know you're still with us. You're watching Breakfast Central and News Central TV. We'll be taking a look at a completely different. It's a Friday, so I want to talk about something very cultural.
Yeah, yes, indeed. It's all about, made. We'll call it made in Nigeria. Yeah, made in Nigeria, that's for sure. Made Kuti, may not be a name many are familiar with, but when you hear the Kuti surname, you can, make the connection. Now, Made is the grandson of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, regarded as the father of Afrobeat, a sound that has gone beyond the shores of Africa and embraced, by all. For years, Fela's sons, Femi, and they've carried the torch with the latter inheriting his father's former band, Egypt 80.
Made is not only Fela's grandson, but he is the son of Femi Kuti. Striking out on his own musical journey, Made is making a name for himself, separate from his grandfather and father. Before we bring him on the show this morning, let's take a look at this.
Think about this democracy, demonstration.
Popularly regarded as the king of Afrobeat, Olufela Anikulapo Kuti was a Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, composer, political activist, and Pan-Africanist. After his passing in 1997 at the age of 58, his legacy lives on through his children and the growing contribution to the future of the African sound in many parts of the world. Today, many of the most successful African and Nigerian artists have attributed their inspiration and that of the music industry to the Afrobeat sound Fela pioneered decades ago. His children have also followed in these footsteps as activists and as musicians. From award-winning best-selling African artist Femi Kuti, Fela's eldest son, to 38-year-old Made Kuti, Fela's grandson, the lineage is rich in art and music. On the 5th of February, Femi Kuti and his son Made Kuti released Legacy Plus, the album. Packaged into a double album, Legacy Plus consists of with music that not only inspires but sheds light on social struggles within the country. We celebrate 3 generations of Afrobeats. We're certain the Kuti family would hold the torch in showcasing Afrobeats for generations to come.
All right, that's indeed great sounds all the way from Africa and Nigeria. And we're very proud to have Made Kuti join us to talk about the Kuti music legacy, striking out on his own, and his new album. Made Kuti, good morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good to see you.
Good morning. Can I just say I'm not 38, so I'm 25.
You certainly don't look it, my brother. Welcome to the program. And it's just so refreshing to have, another generation. Is it third generation of musical Kutis, right here on this program?
Actually,
from Nigeria.
Now we're 7. This is now the 7th generation.
7 generations.
7 generations.
Yeah.
Wow. You come from a family of musicians, no doubt.
Yeah.
Your grandfather, your father, your uncle, practically everybody in your line has this. So have you ever felt pressure to live up to the family's legacy?
Personally, no. And it's only because I had a very kind of liberating childhood.
Okay.
I had, access to everything that I needed. The amount of freedom I had was just enough for me to explore and find myself at a very young age. So I used to watch my dad perform at the shrine 4 times every week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and he used to play for 8 hours straight some days. And I wake up the next morning and still catch him on stage. So somehow all of that, struck a nerve in me that really pushed me towards music and just wanting to play it, wanting to perform it, wanting to write it, wanting to record it. And it was never really about the legacy for me. It was really about what music meant to me and how I wanted to share it with the world and the kinds of things I wanted to share with the world. So, I studied music for 4 years at the conservatoire in London. And, it's really about sound. It's really about the meaning and purpose behind the music.
Wow. That is quite a gruesome discipline, studying music. I'm sure it's classical, right?
It really is. Yeah, it was.
A lot of persons have even said the genre is not something that a lot of persons...
In London, it's no, it's ruling this. I could almost imagine. But Made, the comparisons will definitely come. Well, how do you deal with that? Your grandfather's style, your father's style, Femi Kuti, your style.
Well, Trinity, the conservatoire I just told you about, really forced us into experimentation. If you did something that had been done before very well, you get a lower grade if you did something that was not done before really badly. So they really liked the idea of experimentation. And the other sort of inspiration I had to find myself was how my father deviated from the style of music that fella was making. He sort of found the kind of sounds he liked. He expressed himself as a very strong individual. He had very strong characters in his music. So I just thought, who is Made Kuti? What is he? What is his message? What is his sound? So somewhere along the line, I just decided that I'm not going to sound like anybody. I can't replicate anybody because I'm nobody but myself. So I just decided that I make music that expresses myself as honestly as possible.
So the album is a mix of your work and that of your father. What's the? I mean, why did you choose to combine both as against doing it independently?
Well, it's actually it's a weird kind of independent and joint album because my dad and I worked on these albums totally separately. And it was only until somewhere close to the finishing stages of actually composing everything that my dad thought, wouldn't it be a great idea for a parent and child to do a release, for my first body of work into the world. And we did some research, and it's never been done before, at least to our knowledge, that a father and child or, a parent and child has ever released a body of work, like a joint collection of music like this before. So I composed my side, my dad composed his side. It was very separate. We didn't interfere at all in each other's music making process. But I played bass and sax on my dad's side, and I played every instrument on my side, which gave my dad, a bit of worry because.
Hello, Made, are you still there?
16 days studio, and he didn't know how good or how bad it was going, and invested so much money into it, So he heard the music only after the mixing stages, and he loved it, and it was just smooth sailing from there. But yeah, it was 2 separate albums. My dad's idea to put joint albums together, and it was also the plus after Legacy was also his idea because it's in continuum. It doesn't start and end with us. The legacy has been going on for a long time. And, musically or in other ways, hopefully it continues as well.
All right. Now, Made, Legacy Plus, offers 3 generations, Afrobeat in one place. The influence of Fela can be felt, in some parts of your music now and in this album now. What was your dad's influence, particularly for it?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, your
what
dad's
was my
influence.
Oh, on my side of the album?
Yes, your dad's influence.
So like I said, we actually didn't nothing. I couldn't play to him. My dad is very critical, and he's so honest in his remarks that I feel heavily terrified of showing him anything that is not at the state that I am ready to share it. So he didn't actually hear anything on the album until after recording and mixing and all of that.
I can imagine you being
I was just
terrified of his, but when he does comment, I think that would be the biggest sort of commendation, the combination of your work and his work and presenting it as a Legacy Plus. A lot of persons who say that is the case.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Okay, I was just trying to say a lot of persons can relate with you being concerned about his views on the work that you do.
Hello?
But the highest compliment a lot of others will think would be the fusion of your work and his into the Legacy Plus, don't you think?
Hello, Made.
Okay, network does have a mind of its own. I honestly could, when we get him back, we will continue. I honestly can relate with, being concerned about...
Made, you there? Hello, Made.
Hello?
Yes, all right, Made, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, did you get the last question?
Yeah, sorry, I can't hear anything.
Okay, let's just go move
There's
on.
No sound right now.
Matt, if you can hear us, Made, what's been what's your dad's reception? What's his, his verdict now? Right now, the album, is dead. A legacy album. What's he saying about it now that it's out there?
Okay, the network is not being really nice to us this morning, but we will persist. If it comes back and we have some time, we will stick with that conversation. But it's really heartwarming for me. I took a little peep before the show. I listened to it. The new Afrobeat is generally for people who, I don't know, appreciate sounds of Africa.
Yeah.
But it cuts across the board. We know that for a fact. And it's grown in leaps and bounds. And Shireen, there's so many questions about,
soul, and I'm trying to take, his own distinct sound out of it.
I'm yet to actually, you will have to listen separately, I think, and that will take a little bit of time and investment. If you're, I could try it one of these days and then come back and give my own verdict.
Oh my gosh, it's so unfortunate that the network can really make us have a feel, of
have a complete conversation with Made. But we're hoping in subsequent productions we'll be able to bring him on the show.
Perhaps he would have played his, favorite.
And maybe bring him live here, and he will just serenade all of us.
Free your mind, free your mind, free your mind.
Hey, you're acting like you can sing the thing. Can you?
So I've got the vibe.